All right, we are live. Goop.
Rush. I'm your host, T-Bone, and with me, as always, pushing the buttons, we have our dear Roma Nation.
Happy Wacky Wednesday, y'all. Let's get it.
In our next chair, we have the lovely Elizabeth.
Hello, 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 you guys.
And in our last chair, we have the wise man himself. Brian, how are you today, good sir?
I feel like I feel like I've been hit by a truck myself. So let's get this going.
Well, let's have a wonderful day today. Roma, what is the very first article of the day?
All right, let's get this started. Uh-oh. I have lost the stream. What in the world? Hold on a second. I'm looking for you guys so I can post it up here.
You're looking
Yeah.
for the outline that you created less than 20 minutes ago?
No, I'm looking for the thing so I can stream to you
Here,
guys.
I put it
Ah,
right back in the chat.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just disappeared.
It did the disappearing act. So sorry.
There you are. All right. Set you up like that, like so, you like so,
Whoa,
and
I just
then
saw the title for the very first article, and man, am I excited to talk about this.
all right, here we go. Largest U.S. fresh egg producer halts production at Texas plant after bird flu found in chickens. Now,
Guys, this is a really, really big problem because of how many eggs these chickens are producing. But let's hear the story, Roma.
all right. Well, I mean, first it was FBI pigeon cameras, and now this. All right.
Right.
The largest producer of fresh eggs in the United States said Tuesday that it stopped production at a Texas plant after bird flu was found in chickens there. Ridgeland, Mississippi based Cal-Maine Foods Inc. said in a statement that approximately 1.6 million laying hens and 337,000 pullets, about 3.6% of total flock, excuse me, were destroyed in an infection. Avian influenza was found in a facility, Palmer County, Texas. This is absolutely devastating news for the Cal Maine and the entire Panhandle region, which has already suffered so much already. Given this latest development, all producers must practice heightened biosecurity measures. The rapid spread of the virus means we must act quickly. Now, Brian, didn't they have this issue up in the Panhandle of Texas where they had the wildfires and the stock?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean a lot of prime rangeland for cow calf production is was devastated. So first you have that, and now you have this chicken thing going on. Yeah, the agriculture, the meat production industry in the Texas Panhandle is pretty much devastated now at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, are we going to start seeing this all across the country?
I hope
Well,
not.
hope
Jeez, I hope
well,
not because if that is the case, that means that people are going to need to own their own chickens or go to a local farm to get their eggs because that like you're not going to have any eggs for breakfast and or just chicken meat itself.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're already having food issues as it is. So, especially during the pandemic, and since then, the supply chains have already been nuked. So there's definitely something that we need to watch out for, in the upcoming
Yep.
future.
The prices are
yes, sir.
skyrocketing already with everything else that's going on with Bidenomics.
I mean, I
Yeah,
mean, you got
great Bidenomics. Biden at his best, say.
Pretty much. All right, let's see what else we got here. Company continues to work closely with federal, state, local government officials to focus on industry groups to mitigate the risk of future outbreaks and effectively manage the response. Cal-Maine Foods is working to secure production from other facilities to minimize disruption to its customers. I mean 3.7% is a lot. So, anyways, let's move on to NBC News. Second Chance opened, allowing some vessels to bypass wreckage at the Baltimore Bridge collapse site. Crews opened a second temporary channel on Tuesday, allowing a limited amount of marine traffic to bypass the wreckage of the Baltimore collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge, which had blocked the vital port's main shipping channel since its destruction 1 week ago. Work is ongoing to open a third channel that will allow larger vessels to pass through the bottleneck, officials announced in a news conference Tuesday. The channels are primarily open to vessels that are helping with the cleanup effort, along with some barges and tugs that have been stuck in the port of Baltimore. A tugboat pushing a fuel barge was the first vessel to use an alternate channel late Monday. It is supplying jet fuel to Delaware's Dover Air Force Base. Governor Wes Moore said rough weather conditions over the last 2 days, including thunderstorms, have made it unsafe for divers trying to recover the bodies of the 4 construction workers who are believed trapped underwater in the wreckage. We promised these families that we would do everything in our power to bring them closure, but also my directive is to complete the mission with no injuries and no casualties. So
That would be the point, to do something without injuries or casualties. I mean, what?
absolutely. But as far as, like, now I'm 8 miles from this bridge. All right, so I've noticed that there is a lot more traffic going on, going from out of Baltimore. But when I come home, there's actually no traffic. But I keep forgetting I'm on the southeast side of Baltimore, just past the just past BWI. So a lot of traffic doesn't go through there unless you're trying to avoid Baltimore. So because it's closed down, people are avoiding those routes altogether. So coming home, it's fantastic. But leaving my house, forget about it.
Don't even try.
Yeah, don't even
So you'll
try.
be on time for a midday rush, but you won't be able to. You'd have to wake up at the crack of dawn to get to
Yeah,
work.
just to get to my first customer. Exactly. All right, moving on.
That's all.
Right. Moving on to Yahoo News. Trump legal news brief. Jack Smith threatens Judge Cannon with writ of... How did you say this, Brian? Mandamus?
Mandamus.
Mandamus. Yes, got it right. Here's what that means. I could never announce this word, but I knew what it meant. I hate that. Yahoo News Sissing Daily update on criminal and civil cases against the 45th President of the United States. Let's see here. Prosecutors on Special Counsel Jack Smith's team asked Judge Eileen Cannon to reverse herself on the proposed instructions to jurors in former President Donald Trump's classified documents trial. If she does not, they tell Cannon that they could seek a writ of mandamus to force her to do so. Here are the latest legal developments involving the presumptive Republican presidential nominee for 2024. Smith asked Cannon to drop flawed jury instructions to face appeal. Key players, Special Counsel Jack Smith and Judge Eileen Cannon. Late Tuesday, Smith issued a stern rebuke of Cannon's fundamentally flawed legal premise when she asked lawyers in the case for potential jury instructions that appeared to side with Trump's argument that the Presidential Records Act, or PRA, justified his handling of classified documents after leaving the White House. Quote, if the court wrongfully concludes that it does, and that it intends to include the PRA in the jury instructions regarding what's authorized, it must inform the parties of that decision well in advance of the trial, prosecutors wrote. Smith, who charged Trump with violating the Espionage Act, argues in filing that the PRA does not apply in this case since the crimes Trump is accused of committing took place after he was president. Trump's lawyers had countered that with PRA allows the president to distinguish certain documents as personal records, even after leaving the White House, and that Trump never knowingly retained classified documents that did not fall under this category. Smith's filing also warns Cannon that she does not retract her request for jury instructions regarding the PRA. Prosecutors are prepared to obtain a writ of mandamus to force her to do so. Now, let's stop here for a second. Number one, this needs to be a way bigger story than what it is right now.
Agreed.
Because essentially what they're doing is they're stating that he's guilty until proven innocent, but not giving him the means to do so. On top of that, how do you determine what is classified and what is personal as far as the president of the United States is concerned? Because the way I see it is that the president, whether you are the president or not, if it happened under your term, it should be accessible because you already know the information.
Right.
So I don't know what he's trying to pull here. And the last thing is somebody needs to explain to me why he is the only president that this is being applied to and not Obama, not the Clintons,
Clinton and his sock drawer.
not exactly, not the Bushes.
Yeah.
I mean, we can keep
Wait,
going
is
back
Bush
and back.
one still alive?
No, he is not.
No.
Sorry. But Bush
No,
too.
they had a funeral during Trump.
Yeah, and remember that? What was it? That crazy video of
Nice sticker, Anders.
right, but it's that crazy video of all the notes, the letters.
The letters being given out.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's something we
to
can
certain people in that funeral. Yeah.
exactly. You guys should probably play that video during your show on the weekend.
Yeah, we can.
Do it.
They have the condensed one. Do it.
Do it. All right, let's move on to. Oh, dang it. This is what happens when I have to jump on. I'm not prepared. That's my fault, though. I should have one already set up. All right, this is from CNN, or the Communist News Network. Oregon governor signs drug recriminalization bill reversing voter ballot measure. Now, if you guys do remember, they legalized pretty much, or did not legalize, but they decriminalized most of the drugs in the state of Oregon.
I just want to say something about this person.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like she prefers really comfortable shoes and drives a Subaru.
Oh, that's an
Burned
old
by
joke.
Brian. Those Scooby Doos.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Wouldn't put it past her.
All right, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek signed legislation Monday recriminalizing the possession of certain drugs roughly 3 years after the state became the first in the nation to decriminalize the possession and personal use of all drugs. House Bill 4002, which overwhelmingly cleared the both chambers of the state legislature with bipartisan support, reverses portions of Measure 110, a 2020 voter ballot initiative that relaxed certain penalties for drug possession. Under the new law, offenders could face up to 6 months in jail or, in place of criminal penalties, elect to undergo drug treatment. The penalties for unlawful drug possession will take effect September 1st. In a letter obtained by CNN from the governor to the state legislative leaders, Kotek focused on provisions of the law that can prevent jail time for defendants. House Bill 4002 provides three pathways to avoid incarceration for individuals who possess small amounts of controlled substance by encouraging pre-arrest deflection, providing conditional discharge upon criminal justice interaction, and pursuing formal probation. Now,
What?
it,
Did that article just say to turn yourself in?
well, let's see. What does it say? It says that provides 3 pathways. It says encouraging pre-arrest deflection, providing conditional discharge upon criminal justice interaction, and pursue formal probation. So basically, what does that mean? That's basically be arrested and let go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then just getting probation right off the bat. Pre-arrest deflection, meaning they just take the drugs away from you and you go your merry way.
It connects. Okay, so pre-arrest diversion, also known as police deflection, is a practice in the United States where the law enforcement connects individuals to substance use disorder and a mental health. So deflection programs offer law enforcement opportunity to direct an individual toward behavioral health and social service interventions without ever arresting the individual and processing the individual in the criminal justice system. Deflection is rapidly growing practice in the United States. So
Right.
You get processed in the system, but you're just not arrested and behind bars.
Exactly. I mean, they're basically trying to become Portugal. I mean, Portugal did the same thing by decriminalizing all drugs, naming it a mental health issue more than an actual criminal act. But I truly think this is because they're hemorrhaging supporters. And they're starting to realize that drug addiction crosses both party lines. So they have to understand this. Also, if you look at what's going on in Oregon altogether, remember you've got Democratic voters who are switching over to Republican, kind of like that woman that got hit with that aluminum bottle on her head and was attacked in the street.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that has to do with the drug issues going on. You know, people just acting a fool. So, I mean, they're literally doing this to themselves. But anyways, let's move on, because I know we don't got a lot of time here, to the AP News. College will cost up to $95,000 this fall. School says it's okay. Financial aid can numb sticker shock. Yes. So, again, they're going to own nothing and be happy. But it's okay, though, because Biden already said that you don't have to pay him back. So,
Yeah, I mean, can we all just agree at this point that college is a fucking scam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mostly why I left. It was no.
I mean, unless you're becoming a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher or some sort.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says here in New Hampshire, as more than 2 million graduating high school students from across the United States finalize their decisions on what college to attend this fall, many are facing jaw-dropping costs. In some cases, as much as basically $100,000. Number of private colleges, some considered elite and others middle of the pack, have exceeded the $90,000 threshold for the first time this year as they set their annual costs for tuition, board, meals, and other expenses. That means that a wealthy family with 3 children could expect to shell out more than $1 million by the time their youngest child competes for a 4-year degree. But their sticker price tells only part of the story. Many colleges with large endowments have become more focused in recent years on making college affordable for students who aren't wealthy. Lower income families may be required to pay just 10% of the advertised rate, and for some, attending selective private college can turn out to be cheaper than a state institution. Now, I remember reading a story.
Instead of it costing $90,000, it's gonna cost what? 10 to 15.
Something like that. Yeah, like $9,000. Go ahead.
well, I have a college degree. It's in political science.
Wow, Brian, you have a piece of paper?
Yeah, I do. And you know what I do with that degree? You know how I
What?
use my political science degree?
Tell me.
I argue politics on the internet with retards.
I'm not a retard,
Oh.
sir.
Well, I do have another thing here. So I remember last year, LSU, they created a leisure pool that spells the letters LSU in it. So basically, you jump on like a raft and just float around the pool for hours on end. And they bought that through the tuition at a cost of $85 million. It goes to no education. It went to nothing that had anything to do with the school is concerned, but $85 million just like that, and they didn't even have to think about it. They just started construction.
That's it right there in the chat.
Horrible.
Oh, it's so pretty. $85 million pretty.
It is,
No,
but
it's not.
but when you talk about people not being able to afford college, but yet they're doing things like this,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can only
Come
imagine.
on now.
Again, going back to my first thing, own nothing and be happy. Well, now you're going to own nothing, and owe everything and be happy
That's right.
at the end of this. Yep.
You're not going to be able to pay off your student loans until after you get out of, after you go into retirement.
Sometimes not even then. There are people that are dying with student loans,
Yeah.
like
And
literally.
Then who pays it? Who pays that back when the person dies?
The government.
Nobody. Well,
Right. All right. So we got two scanner articles here. I think you know what? Here, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and let you take over the stage because we have a wonderful, wonderful segment coming up for you today.
Oh, yes.
whoa, really?
Oh yeah.
That's correct.
So
Like
excited.
I said, I really expect probably to lose friends over this one.
Well, Brian, you were never my friend, so.
What?
You'll never lose me as
What?
a friend.
this earthquake. However, if come a but, they're also just gonna, continue to stay there so they can, take over Taiwan easier, quote unquote. So I genuinely believe that number one is real, I believe. Yeah. It's 100% real. There's no way that China would not try to send their troops because it would just be a lot easier for them to take over the country. I mean,
Yeah.
am I wrong? Anybody
No.
want to Taipei?
I'm torn, and I read this prior to the show, not knowing what the answer was. I just read the two, and I still don't know.
See, I genuinely believe that Taiwan would refuse aid from China. Like they would. They would say, "Hey, we know that you're gonna try and send troops over and help us, but I don't think that's a good idea, so we're just not gonna accept. Thanks, bye."
Right, no Trojan horse, thank you.
Sorry. Like, I understand the people of Taiwan are definitely hurting. However, China is not their savior to save their country. They're not. I haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe that China would be trying to actually help Taiwan.
Yeah.
You're mistaken in the fact that China would listen to any rebuffs anyway, so they wouldn't bother stating it.
Oh, like Taiwan wouldn't even think to say anything because China wouldn't listen. Like they wouldn't come out and make it.
That makes sense.
I'm telling you. Yes. Yes. Someone say HAARP? I didn't. Yep.
I don't know. I wasn't alive. Actually, no, I was alive.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Who?
Test. Hello.
I mean, I just
Yeah.
want to ask, about the tectonic plates underneath, Taiwan.
Yeah.
Like, I just live here, man.
Yeah, there was that physicist. It was Michio Kaku. I had to look his name up because I couldn't remember.
I love him. He's so great.
It was like 8 or 9 years ago.
So amazing to say.
It's like Chef's Kiss. He was on, I think it was CBS or NBC or one of those, and he was talking about how you can affect the weather. And he started talking about it, and the reporters were like, "Oh, wow, that's amazing." And then he was like, "Yeah, like they did in Vietnam, and where they brought on a monsoon to help win the war." And she was like, "Allegedly." Like she jumped in.
Allegedly. No.
But yeah, he was ready to just spew everything out of the bag. So they're able to do a lot.
Do we have an answer on which is the B? Because I really want to sing my song. I'm not gonna lie.
You might have won. You made a good argument too.
Definitely
And I voted before I listened to your whole argument. Because I only
My
gave it a
argument-
minute like a dum
Dude,
dum.
I have a
Yeah.
great argument. None of my arguments are zeros. All of my arguments are 20s.
20s.
Because all I do are 20s, bro. All I
That's
do are
Michael Jackson levels of allegedly.
20s. What?
When we were saying allegedly before about the whether or not you can affect the weather.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. MJ. Great music. But great dancer, also. I will say that. As a dancer myself, I will add that he does have the moves.
He does. He can even walk on the moon. And Billie Jean was not his lover. No.
No, Billie Jean was not his lover.
Oh, you know it.
Just beat it already. I said beat it. No, it is. No, it really is. Really is.
No.
See, guys, we do have a motto here. We do have a motto. Boss, you want to say the motto? You are right. We will be back. Let's go along with another article. Boss, what is the next article?
If you
It's
if you
okay,
want,
just
Roma,
read
you
it.
can do that first one. You don't have to leave it for leftovers, or you can do whatever is next on your list.
Yeah,
You
just
choose.
read it. Just read the article. Okay. Okay, yeah. Go with the other one then. Ooh.
Yep.
Do they really care? I mean, they should. It's somebody's money, but do they honestly care? I don't know.
And you see, that actually should be something that the Republicans should jump on, because that would turn the pointed finger right back at them and do exactly what they do all the time. Oh, so you're saying that disabled people shouldn't be able to protect themselves like everybody else? Is that what you're saying? Huh?
No.
Huh? Right.
It's for the will of the people, boss. Get it right.
Yeah.
Really bad. Really bad. Really bad, I will say. Sir,
Okay.
wise man?
My potatoed hard on me.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
No worries.
And now, so Jesus. Anyway, the China thing, the China opera thing, that was the B.
That was the B. So
Oh,
does
China
that mean T-Bone?
offers to send. So T-Bone lost.
I guess I didn't hear anything.
I mean, I picked the first one because I feel like China would try to send 1,000 troops.
Yeah.
100,000. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would. I mean, yeah, that would make sense that they would try to do that. You made a good
Yeah.
argument for it.
But I guess the other one is the B, so I guess I lost.
Nice
Well,
sound effect.
Boss, are we done? Are we done with the pistol brace article? Okay. Well, guys, it is my favorite time. Brian, would you like to relieve the stage, or are you still?
Oh, do I still have it?
Yeah, you still have it.
Well,
Guys,
all
it
right.
is time for my favorite time of the day, where we get to play Caption This, where I give you a picture and you give me
How do I do
a
this?
caption. Guys,
I'm excited.
today of all days.
Oh gosh, I'm
You know
scared.
what? We're gonna go with E.T. because you know what? Who doesn't love E.T.? Guys, this is the
Oh.
picture. Oh yeah. E.T. is getting it. He's doing it with the thing. And guys, while I have your attention, tonight on Timcast IRL is none other